Hi, I'm Hanting Li from MA Illustration. Today I'm going to introduce my study about critical making for illustration course. This project aims to document my journey in learning illustration. Let's start with the research and analyze. In our workshops, we drew inspiration from previous works and explored devised illustration practice, which sharpened my critical thinking and storytelling. The Choose workshop emphasizing my understanding of how images serve various communicative purposes. As learning progresses on the class, I expanded my projects by drawing inspiration from my past studies, venturing into animation and commercial website design. Transitioning from illustration to animation enriched my skills in understanding animation principles, deepening my grasp of narrative structures and pacing. In my cooperative project, I moved from digital to handmade crafts, creating an art book and a clay figure with mixed materials. This experience enabled me to identify connections between different works, promote co-innovation. Moreover, the feedback I received made me think about what it takes to make an illustration story, not just focusing on images but also on the use of the phone, and gave me inspiration for my next steps. During research, I found the spatial expansion of graphic novel is truly fascinating. From multiple ideas, I found that present limitations were implemented by the creator to encourage the creator to abandon conventional thoughts and let me approach illustration from a new perspective. Also, it became apparent that the phone should carry the story rather than forcing the phone to dictate the story. Basing my anecdote on personal recollections, I seek to explore my intimate association with my mother through graphic novel. For the audience, this includes readers who appreciate graphic novels as a medium for personal storytelling, those who can relate to complex family dynamics, and who are interested in exploring emotional narratives. For me, memories with my mother starting at home. In case study, these two artists use different spatial forms to control the memories and achieve self-healing through repetition. I aim to transform abstract concepts and emotions into concrete forms in my experience. This approach allows me to better understand and analyze the story. Following the Olympus guidelines, I went through childhood photos to create fictional spaces to reminisce about my relationship with my mother. Through overlooking space and graphic novels merge with each other. For the experimentation and practice, continuous testing and incorporating feedback are essential for research. I experimenting with layout through bookbinding and collage to transform the format. It makes me realize this method didn't meet my expectations. It makes me aware that decisions as to what graphic approach to use, the content of the imagery, how this information will be composed and organized are far from arbitrary. In creating graphic novel, applied materials is hard, where understanding each to a paper texture and stable color difference in materials is crucial. To emphasize the contrast between memory and space, I attempt to separate the shadow of my mom from the image, experimenting with different paper materials for this purpose. In the print test, the polyester paper produced the best result. The clarity is excellent and the paper materials achieve spatial expansion. From the room on the right side of the space, I was inspired by the previous collaborative extension workshop. I used clay sculpture to make some of the furniture and used photocomic methods to collage it into illustration. This result is good, but I don't think it's the best result. For further testing, I colored the model and put it into the frame again. The comparative reference method allowed me to visualize the difference between them. The visual impact of varying color schemes and the iterative process of refining concepts, or making me realize that I need to switch identity perspectives. To thinking critically, this can help me achieve best effects. At last, I changed the colored clay sculpture photo into black and white. This alteration enriched the image overall aesthetic without compromising its integrity. Also created a harmonious visual dialogue with the black and white style. This choice made the story's visuals more engaging and impactful by adding depth and contrast. In summary, this time I embraced a new artistic style, stepping out of my comfort zone, which enriched my technical skills and understanding of storytelling and audience engagement. This process of ongoing experimentation and learning from feedback has reshaped my approach to illustration, and has set higher expectations for my future creations. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, please ask me.